through. So today, they decided that since this didn't work, this didn't work out. So what we're going to do is that we need to reverse it. So Kolu, at their meeting today, had this to say.
Times like this, currently, we face in our sub-region demand that we take difficult but courageous decisions that put the plight of our people at the center of our deliberations. Democracy is nothing more than the political framework and the path to addressing the basic need and aspiration of the people. This is why we must re-examine our current approach to the quest for constitutional order in 4 of our member states. I therefore urge them to reconsider the decision of these 3 nations to exit our home and not to perceive our organization as the enemy. Of course, we are not the enemy. I am confident that though our collective efforts and determination, we will navigate the challenges before us and chart a new course towards a more peaceful, secure, and prosperous West Africa.
Like I said, no be everything gra they resolve. What they should have done months ago, they didn't. Is now what they are doing. And we hope it brings stability, prevents war, and our people can actually enjoy their God-given resources. That's just a prayer, by the way. No wonder they first sent the president of Ghana to go and meet that guy in Burkina Faso. We are sorry. We're going to make an announcement in Abuja tomorrow. And we would love to hear your own response. Please, Ejo to your long. Because Onodaku. You know, it's like they won't shake him. They don't trust them. But yeah, you are welcome to come and tell us what you probably are planning to do. They told them, don't shake him. Just like that. That's enough. And I bet you did see that in that video, right? So in Abuja today, your supposed president or supposed secretary made this declaration. And it's not just about Niger. It's also about Burkina Faso, Mali, and Guinea. Listen.
On sanctions, the authority has resolved as follows. The authority has resolved to lift with immediate effect the following measures imposed on the Republic of Niger. A, closure of land and air borders between Ecowas countries and Niger to be lifted. No-fly zone of all commercial flights to and from Niger is to be lifted. Suspension of all commercial and financial transactions between ECOWAS member states and Niger is to be lifted. Freezing of all service transactions, including utility services, is to be lifted. Freezing of assets of the Republic of Niger in ECOWAS central banks is to be lifted. freezing of assets of Niger state and the state enterprises and parastatals in commercial banks is to be lifted. Suspension of Niger from all financial assistance and transactions with all financial institutions, particularly EBRD and BRID, is to be lifted. Travel ban on the government officials and their family members is also to be lifted. This decision is based on humanitarian considerations, especially as we are in the month of Lent and as we prepare for the holy month of Ramadan. The authority has also resolved to lift the sanctions regarding the recruitment of Malian citizens in statutory and professional positions within Ecowas. The authority has also resolved to lift financial and economic sanctions on the Republic of Guinea. The authority has also instructed the President of the Commission to invite Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, and Guinea to attend technical and consultative meetings of Ecowas, as well as all security-related meetings. The authority calls on Ecowas institutions, member states, YMO,
and on like that. The afterthought. Again, like somebody said, they thought they were hurting them, but they were actually teaching them the lifetime lessons, because it it actually unites these countries to the point that they did not, they did not just pull out of these ECOWAS. They shunned African Union, the compromised organizations. They teamed together to merge their security, economic interest together. These guys were now contemplating starting their own unified currency, trade stuff, and all of this have been put together, right? So ECOWAS, who is now going to be at loss, Nigeria, who is feeling the brunt even more. Shemika, tell you, when these guys pulled out of ECOWAS because of the hostility and war sanctions that they placed on them, Niger Republic then told Nigeria, listen, let's be very honest. We are not brothers. We are just neighbors. And we can only allow what we will allow. At this point, we do not want any of your commercial aircraft to fly over, whether commercial, military, to fly over Niger Republic. If any does, then. So this singular announcement would affect Nigeria economy, job losses, business closure, because it has automatically added an extra an hour or two to your flight schedules, which goes along with all the operational airlines in that axis. They have to avoid Niger Republic. Extra fuel, extra cost, and with the situation of Nigeria, they know they won't last long when the effect of all of that will begin to actually manifest. They didn't think it through. They were fighting proxy war. They were fighting for their own imperialist friends, right? To the detriment of their own people. People were in the hospitals when they cut off the electricity to Niger Republic. Nigeria cut off electricity to Niger Republic. That's a total declaration of war. And I remember when all of us were like, we are not part of this, so we know that this guy never was elected as president. This guy, bought his way in, fought his way in enough that it's pretty much like a state capture. It's more or less like Nigerians are defeated, like more or less like a captured people. So when it takes all this decision, when it makes all these actions or takes all these actions, right? What happens is that the consequences of these still bounces back on the rest of everybody in that contraption, even if you're outside it. There was a security pact between Niger Republic, Burkina Faso, Mali, Chad, and Nigeria. These are like the borderline where those Tuareg, Sahel terrorists who are migrating down south, okay, these were the routes. These were the countries they would have to pass through before they get to their real target, Nigeria. So because of this, Nigeria gives them a lot of money. Yeah, historically, they give them a lot of money to ensure that they kind of keep all these terrorists at bay, except the ones that have been cleared for Nigeria, which indeed is also an arrangement, by the way. So when Niger, Mali, as well as Burkina Faso said they are cutting ties with the Ecowas, you know what they did? They told them, listen, any terrorist that is passing through their borders, as long as they are not stopping to stop at their borders or stop in their country, they have no problem with them. They go. Where are you going? We are going to Nigeria. Please continue until they leave their path. All of these are pointers to the fact, to the same thing. The Armageddon. If nobody stop these criminals, Baba, if you no stop them, they will end all of us. Actions like this. However, they say, yeah, we were wrong. Of course, we haven't also heard from these guys what their response is. If they kind of believe them, or if they don't. Sorry, guys, on Facebook. Somehow lately, I don't know if that's a new thing. Okay, Facebook will leave my video on, and it will drop all of you. Yes, you will be saying it to yourself that Mayegun's Diary Political on Facebook has stopped. It has stopped. No, it hasn't stopped. What Facebook did or they do is that they will just drop all of you. The video will still be there, playing or recording, but none of you will see it anymore. And they did that 3 times last night. They've done it already tonight. So if you are still watching me on Facebook, the ideal thing is to go onto YouTube. Okay, it's the same thing. You are just here watching and listening, right? On Facebook, right? Go on YouTube and search for Mayegun. You can do the same thing and you won't miss any bit of it. I can't guarantee that they won't stop it again in another few minutes. They are doing it. And I don't know why. I do not know why. So yes, they have lifted ban. And like I said, this is a good thing. Okay, it is actually a good thing, which its effect can also ease some tension. It's not going to really change anything. The relationship has been soiled and destroyed. I do not know how diplomatically they can be back on the same page, considering what they have managed to gain when they decided not to follow the French orders or France rules or France directive anymore. All these sanctions to punish them was to turn their people against them. It didn't work. So we don't know if they are going to trust them to say, yes, we'll come back. I do not. So, but once I get something on that, you can trust me. I will share that with us. Going forward, ladies and gentlemen, because part of this effect, I'll show you some, is still happening in Nigeria right now. So the Nigerian Naira has managed to gain against the dollar, against the pounds. So what that means is that dollar lost about about 200 Naira to what it was yesterday. So a dollar was exchanged for 1,698 Naira, okay, from 1,009 something. The pound was, it was kind of exchanged today for 2,200 from the 2,400 and something yesterday. And according to those who are following this up, they want you to clap. But I want you to remember, voodoo economy, this one is not true and is not in your interest. Because anything that brings out or strengthens your Naira, even if they give them 10 billion now, and they bring your Naira to dollar down to what? To 500 Naira to $1, it won't still make any impact on your day-to-day cost of living, because this money is just there to kind of be in control of the speculation, be in control of the that supply and what have you. But the problem is, who are those accessing those demand and supply? Are they those who are actually using them to further help improve your economy? Are they those who are having access to this? For example, now, when somebody who brought in petroleum, for example, petroleum last month at the exchange rate of 1,600 naira to a dollar, okay, and is already going to 1,900. When they finish with that supply, all right, okay, hang on. You know, with that 1,600, when they want to kind of split the cost on the final purchase, I mean, the buyer, you will feel it in the price, Abby. Now, if this same buyer goes back to the market and he realizes that he could exchange the same dollar for 1/4 of what he paid the last time, 400 naira to a dollar, you know what that means? It will impact on the end user, which is you. So if he brought in something that he bought at the cost of a 1,600 naira to a dollar, and he sells it to you for 2,000 naira, and he goes back to the market and he buys a dollar for 400 naira to a dollar, the same product, you would expect at least the price of this to drop straight down to 500 naira, because 1/4 of what he paid to bring it to you last time is what he's paying now to bring the same thing to you right now. So that is what they want to do. That's what they say they want to do. Now, if they, for example, if they have $10 billion and that money is judiciously kind of allowed to go into the hands of this, that is when it will make impact on your day-to-day. That is when your petrol will be cheaper. That is when your pampers will be cheaper. That's when your food will be cheaper. That's when you can be able to actually afford to buy the food. If they continue to say they are opening border, they are bringing food, and this same RNG money is going to the pocket of your governors who are using your monthly allocation, FAC allocation, to convert to dollars the money they now take abroad. Now, if these people are genuine, which I know they are not, that is why I call it voodoo economy. The voodoo economy is that you will see the temporary reduction, you will see a temporary one, and after once they exhaust the money, once they exhaust that liquid cash, liquid forex, the wahala go start again. And right there, you will be sleeping in your room. You wake up the following morning and they say things don't go up again, or you say, hey, wahala. You cannot run a country like that successfully. It is called voodoo economy. So part of what they are also doing that they haven't told you, right, is their central bank made few declarations, by the way, since for the past 72 hours. Okay, one of them is that they were telling people that they were doing everything to make sure that the price of stuff kind of reduced. Meanwhile, in 2024 alone, they have increased, right? They have increased the import duty, the exchange rate for you to pay the duty tariff, the import tariff and all that 4 times. Now, let me explain what that means, right? What I mean is that in numbers, okay, 40% of the worth of whatever you are bringing to Nigeria is what you are going to pay as duty, what have you. So let's say you bought a car in America, and let's say you got a car in the US or in the US would be better because it's left drive or so, right? Left hand. So yeah, and the car is worth, for example, 20,000 US dollars. So when you get to Nigeria, the ideal money that you are supposed to pay with all this increase is going to be 40% of that worth. Therefore, Nigeria is now charging import duty almost in dollar. But this is how they do it. Okay. If you have dollars, you pay them in dollars. If you don't, you will have to pay them equivalent of the dollar value. So if 40% of 20,000, for example, $20,000, right? Let's say 40% of $20,000. This is, for example, I'm very terrible in mathematics, by the way. Okay. Let's say 6,000 or 6,500 or even maybe like 8,000. Now, let's say 8,000 naira is $8,000 is the 40%. That's how much you are going to pay on that car. Because they were generating money. That's how they do it. This year alone, they've made it up to 40%. They still keep going. Now, here is the problem. Now that the dollar to naira exchange rate was going to the gutters, you that bought a car of, and then you have to pay $8,000. What you do is that they will now tell you, multiply 1,000 by 1,700, 1,800, and all of that. As the speculators are changing the price, the same speculators, BDCs, they are blaming. As they are changing the price of exchange rates, Nigeria Custom is also increasing their own. So this put a lot of businesses into serious problems that some of you probably have no idea yet. The reason why a lot of stuffs you are buying today are so expensive that you can't even afford them, Nigeria government contribute to that. They are not helping you. As the economy is going worse, they are increasing the target of the customs. So this issue of exchange rate, Nigerian Central Bank had to come out and say, okay, you know what? We are not going to do that anymore. As a new idea, we're going to stop that. I think it was Peter Obi that tweeted something about that, like, you are hurting businesses, so things are going to really go. It's going to be bad than what we are witnessing so far if you continue like this. So, because all you do is that, okay, yeah, you will discourage importation, but guess what? Some people are still going to pay you all that money. But at the end of the day, the people that you are governing, they will be the one that will not be able to afford other medication. They will not be able to afford all their daily needs. There's some things that they actually need to run their lives will become too expensive for them to afford. Then they will turn on you. So you better think. That's why I see Central Bank of Nigeria now released that statement to say, now from now on, we don't want to increase the exchange rate, this or that. But they are still scraping for money. I'm talking about wherever they can see any dollars. And with that, they are patting themselves on the back now and clapping for themselves to say, we are doing well. But here is the problem. There are those who issue licenses to the BDCs. The BDCs are the Bureau de Change. You see all those places you go on and change your money. For those of you who have done that before, apart from the bank, majority of us have done that before anyway. There's not a crime in that because these people were licensed. All right. So as they were going after those who were trading on Binance, and they banned them in Nigeria. So they went after the BDCs too. But that is a problem. No, okay, maybe not a problem, but there is actually a concern. I'll tell you now. Let me say thank you to Rashid. Abdul Rashid, Zibili, God bless you. I had to leave that your super chat on, or else I'll miss it. Thank you very much for that, your kindness. I appreciate it. Okay, I do. Thank you very much. And thanks to all of you as well who are still here with us. And thanks enough that Facebook is still on, Abi. So yeah, thank you very much to every one of you who has been around. Please take a moment and like the broadcast, okay? Just like it. And if you haven't, if you have already done that, that's fine. Don't do it again. Just like it once. If you do it second time, you're going to take your like back, okay? Then share the broadcast and possibly sign up enough that you can sign up on YouTube, okay? Use your email, sign up on YouTube. It's so easy, all right? Then you can be able to indeed like my Egun's video, share the video, and subscribe too. Try it. Try it. Anyway, so they issued another statement to the BDC. So now there were So yesterday or 2 days ago, when they released that, when they ban crypto, ban Binance, blame them for Nigeria naira crashing. The tweet on your left from one of these faceless social media influencers from northern Nigeria, I believe, they were happy. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Then the tweet on the right, and those people who are there should be arrested. Okay, you remember? Okay, may I read them? Thank you, Thank you, President Tifnumbu, for banning Binance to crash dollar. All the apps that have been manipulating our naira should be banned, and those involved be arrested. Police should start mounting checkpoints in the country and asking people to unlock their phones for search. It was great idea. Then when they read the announcement about the BDCs, when they hear that BDCs, operators, in Nigeria, they will need another set of verification, and they are, you see how they were, and you know something, BDCs in Nigeria is dominated by the Northerners. They are the currency speculators, currency changers. It is their job. The corruption and collapse of financial system in Nigeria paved way for the BDCs. Even though some people say that there are some BDCs like that abroad where you have the money market, the money this and that, that's different, okay? So that's what they want to do now. They are now saying that all of una BDC operators, you either go digital or you go home. There is no more round tripping. You can no longer give more than $500 to anybody. You can no longer change more than $500. And if you change $500, you must have a portal, you must have a website, you must have a digital account that we can track all of that payment. And every money allocated to you, the one you buy, the one you got, and everyone in your vault, you must be updating them every day. We must know how much you have in your vault. So you must go digital. Aboki must begin to build websites and also apps that will be monitored by Tifnumbu and his Lagos boys. That is not going down well with the Arewas. They are targeting us. This is where Tifnumbu is targeting them. Because which kind of thing be this? BDC operators are not the ones that floated Naira. Federal government did so. The value could be determined by market demand and supply. The attempt to clamp down on the BDCs, who are largely northerners, and Hausa Fulanis, stands condemned. There is no checkpoint. There will be no checkpoint for the BDCs. Everybody, they will not be arrested. Their houses will not be searched because they are Hausa Fulanis. And now, they are in fact targeting them. They are targeting us. These Yorubas are targeting us. I told you that some of you, you are obsessed with the Igbos. May you continue to suffer indignation, depression, heartbreaks because of your obsession. And if you are an Igbo man or woman who is also obsessed with the Yorubas, Yoruba this, Yoruba that. When you look at Tifnumbu, Yoruba this, Yoruba that. When you look at this APC, Egbekegbe, the murderers, Yoruba this, Yoruba that. So you too, open your two hands. In your obsession with Yorubas, in your depression, and then in your frustrated life, right? May you continue to enjoy the pain. You know something about bigotry is that it knows no tribe. People just want a reason to just feel like, listen to me, Abobaku, Oshogbo Alimajiri. Listen to me very well. Lagos, what do you call it? The crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers, the all-risers. You bad idiot. You bastards, the bad idiots. Look at me. In this your obsession with the Igbos, Igbo this, Igbo that. Me, I am telling you, you need to pay attention more and get yourselves ready and stop being so scared. You see, waiting you go face, the real war you go face, now from these people. Now, two type of people, they northern Nigeria. Okay? You have the Sharia one, and you have the ones that will explain it to you. Do you understand? The fanatic Sharia one. I kill you. Say, if you are a non-Muslim, you are infidel. Do you agree? If you agree with me, great. You don't agree with me, I kill you. And that one will come to explain to you that, no, in Islam, right, what happened is that you should try and understand that it's just saying to you that it's opinion and all of that. That one will explain to you. We have them from the north. And that is why inside the APC, Egbekegbe, you also have the CPC. Àwọn ìyẹn ni the jihadists from the Sharia North, represented by Bokwari. Then you also have the ACN from the regional champion, the Lagos landlord, kleptomaniac Jaga banditi, the Jaga addict, aṣíwájú àwọn olè, aṣíwájú àwọn gbéwìrì, aṣíwájú àwọn agbèrò. And these two merged together. They said they will rescue Nigeria. The first part gave you terrorism. The second part is giving you weaponization of poverty. You get that? You still don't get it. Forget about it. You would have to be worried about these people because they are not used to this. And it's not in an attack on the north. They themselves, now the people will say, then kill 3 obas. Una not even get liver to scream and say, don't ever do that again. Even do something like, we must protect our land. Though. These people are, I don't see any of that. I want to threaten Teresa Mendoza, Abuja, Remi Werepe, Remi Tifnumbu. Now, DSS, arrest him. DSS. So, una they shout DSS. The guy don't apologize. So he said, no, he didn't mean it that way. He must have misunderstood the hadith. He didn't mean it that way that they should buy Remi. Una did there like a scared musu. Scared musu. Bo. They are not even backing at you. They just raise their hand and say, you go talk. These people kill 3 Oba in Yoruba land. Ogu kill you. You this Fulani terrorist. Ogu kill you. They say, join me, Jare. Abobaku, join me. Ogu kill all of you, you Fulani terrorists. Leave our land. I cannot say that. I say, why? Say it. Join me. So, no, I can't say that. We need to be very, very very careful. All right, we are not sure they are Fulani. The last time I checked, you see some people locally are doing all this. So let us be very careful. You see, and they look and say, but you go join them and call us terrorists. So yeah, join them, call us terrorists. They say, no. Me, I not join them. Is that not how you are living your life? Anyway, they are seeing that anything we will not do, if you call them policy, now attack on the north. I want to my face in you, pelu koboko gidi lowo. Meow. DSS. Nigeria police, Nigeria army. Is that not what you're doing? DSS. And then when an Igbo man is around, they're like, you these Igbo people, we will show you. You see, in Yoruba land, we don't take nonsense. Don't try that nonsense. We go back to your kiniko. You go, they get muzzle. I mean it. Like, you are a disgrace, by the way. So much of it. Me, they tell you that your obsession with the Igbos is taking your attention away from the real danger. I want to man not if in case if you don't know, save your energy. It's just an advice, I'm talking about the Igbos. On Monday, the leader of the IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, his case and his bail application is going to be discussed in the same court of Binta in Yako, the compromised judge. So I'm just going to try and sound nice because I don't know who is going to see this video, and I don't want to is that called prejudice or something? No, prejudice. There's a name they call for it. I was like you are not supposed to talk about a case ongoing. Someone will respect that because I want to see this guy out by Tuesday latest, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will walk out. They are trying to save themselves from this endless loop of shame. You arrested a man who did nothing. Then you kidnapped him again. You first kidnapped him. Then when you couldn't prosecute him, you offered him something he didn't take. You attempted to kill him. The next thing you went on to go and commit international crime. You kidnapped a citizen of another country. Then you kept him, you couldn't do anything. Now your court said let him go several times. You didn't let him go. So it has become a sort of a total embarrassment. But since Tifnumbu would like to cash in and take advantage of anything, what I have been told, which is also aligning to what I also want, I don't give a damn if they have to make a deal with the devil. Release that man. Then we can talk after that. Because somebody actually have a clue to say they are making arrangements to kind of like, reduce all this shame and make it look like the court just gave him bail, not like let him go completely, but to just say that, okay, then afterward, they will just throw the case out and all that. Is the only person that I know, or I am still believing, will not come out of that place and tell all of us not to what? Not to blame Tifnumbu for, but we should blame Bokuwari. Is one of those I believe will never say that. Baba, and I kind of strongly believe that. So if I'm going to be disappointed in anyone, it will be Nnamdi Kanu coming out to tell us that we should be patient with Tifnumbu. Hi. Now then I'm going to say, wala ti wa. But listen to this.
Let me start by saying that the entire trial of Nnamdi Kanu, to me, this is me speaking, I think it's a needless exercise. It's an exercise in futility. The government is busy making monsters out of Nigerians, pushing Nigerians to the wall and pushing a lot of persons to the wall. I do not think that it was proper in the first place, given the fact that the government has a lot of issues on its table to deal with. The issue of poverty, the issue of hunger, and so on and so forth. For the first time, if my memory serves me right, this will be the first time in the history of this country where Nigerians, one of the most populous countries in Africa, and one of the richest countries, if I'm not mistaken, in the whole world, will be protesting and asking the government, protesting and saying that they are hungry. Protesting. It happened in Kano, in Mina, I think somewhere in Kano it happened. And even in Abuja, there's a lot of protests against hunger and mismanagement of government. So I think the trial was needless in the first place, and the government should focus on a lot of issues. The government has a lot to do. For instance, even the military, they are overwhelmed. The entire security apparatus in Nigeria, the police, the military, the armed forces. When I say the armed forces, I mean both the Navy, Air Force, and so on, and the civil defense, and all of them, they are not up to 2 million. And now, you expect these people to police over 200 million or more Nigerians. So I feel that the government is misplaced. Now, do not forget that the government spent resources and everything to be trying Omoyele Sowore. Members of the media, you are aware that charge has been dropped. With all the monies, with all the media hype, it has been dropped. The government shamelessly, entered a nolle prosequi, and the matter is dropped. So, what is the essence of all this kind of trial? Now, they should focus on issues, hunger, the weakening of the skyrocketing weakness of the naira, and so on and so forth. They should focus on all this. Now, back to the judgment of the Supreme Court, the one delivered on the 15th. The Supreme Court addressed a lot of issues on that matter and laid certain matters to rest. For instance, a lot of what is in the public domain is that Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail. That was, even myself, I was compelled to believe, you understand, that he actually jumped bail. But the Supreme Court laid this matter, not just the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal agreed. You get the point. The Court of Appeal agreed. They said no. He agreed with Nnamdi Kanu that he didn't jump bail. Rather, the state made it impossible, you understand, for Nnamdi Kanu to appear in court. That was what the Court of Appeal stated. The Court of Appeal went further to say that the trial judge was aware of all these facts put before it, but he turned a blind eye to these issues. I mean, I was amazed when I read this. I read it myself. I wasn't told. In fact, the Court of Appeal the Supreme Court indicted the trial judge and said that the impartiality of the trial judge is called to question. This is I am not making this up. I urge members of the public to take a look at the judgment of the Supreme Court of 15th December 2023 pertaining Nnamdi Kanu. In fact, read specifically the judgment of Justice Agim, I think somewhere around page 10 to 13, where they rebuked the trial judge in all this. So what is more? So the Supreme Court made a very succinct pronunciation on that matter. Now, however, the Supreme Court reinstated having found out all this, that Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail, and he was illegally extradited from Kenya to Nigeria. The Supreme Court, in its wisdom, reinstated the 7-count charge earlier struck out by the Court of Appeal. Do not forget that it was a total of 15-count charges. You understand? And the Court of Appeal, in its wisdom, struck out 8, remaining 7. So the Supreme Court, while agreeing with the Court of Appeal, you understand, that Nnamdi Kanu was illegally abducted. In fact, they used the word abducted and kidnapped. These were the words of the Supreme Court. And
are you following? Now, this is you hearing from someone. He's a lawyer. He's a Muslim, he's a northerner, or a middle belt, and I'm not sure, or he's a Muslim. That he said he is so amazed. That's the word he used, Zabi. Rather than say he was shocked that all of this that he's been reading in the media